My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode, and today's episode is one that, I've been thinking about this and really thinking about the content around this topic and excited to bring it to you here today. So today I titled this podcast, Happiness equals Discipline plus Gratitude plus Purpose. So the whole thing that got me thinking about this was, okay, what are we really on the pursuit of? The pursuit of happiness, feeling good, just having impact. And so, who isn't wanting happiness or a life well lived that has meaning and impact? And I got to thinking pretty deeply on this topic. And also, I do want to share, I was influenced very heavily on this topic from a gentleman named Andy Frisella. He has been someone that I have listened to here, and some people absolutely love him, some people absolutely not. But he shared this, and he basically said, the definition of happiness is discipline plus gratitude plus purpose. And so it got me really digging into this, and I wanted to share this because I felt like it's having huge impact in my life. And I know for women who listen to this podcast that this can have a lot of meaning. And I feel that I can share on this topic just from a female's voice and a female's perspective on this. And so I want to dig into this, and I'm always curious, tell me how this information sits. I always love when you guys message me, when you guys send me a DM and just tell me, hey, or you leave that 5-star rating. That is just, I cannot tell you how much that means to me and how that helps just this podcast grow, has more women listening to it. And so share this obviously with another woman that you think, or man, I know I do a lot of my content directly towards women, but I'm sure men would genuinely enjoy this as well. So I got to thinking about what is it that we ultimately want. And obviously, me speaking into weight loss and mindset and our body and just feeling good in our own skin and being who we were born to be and truly understanding how we're going to impact, how we're going to serve. And I really started thinking about, dang, all we really want is happiness. We just want to feel happy. We want to feel good. And I know when you feel good in your own skin, your confidence is out there, perform well in your job, you have an amazing, life with your family, your kids, your partner, your spouse. And I don't know, I just think about how happiness really is the root of what we want. We want to know that we have greater impact. Which goes into purpose. We want to be in gratitude and be thankful for the things that are happening in our lives or the people around us. And then there's this piece of discipline. So I want to dig right into this and just really dig into this definition of happiness. And the very, very first thing is having discipline. So having discipline means consistently adhering to some sort of set of rules or principles or actions in order to achieve a specific goal or a desired outcome. It involves having self-control, determination, and the ability to make intentional choices that align with your objectives, even though you're facing challenges, you've got distractions, you've got temptations, okay? So this is a big one. So discipline is more than willpower, okay? It goes way beyond willpower. This involves you truly creating a structured approach, cultivating these habits that support what you desire, what you want from a long-term perspective. What's interesting in this day and age is we're so geared toward instant gratification. I mean, think about it. We used to watch television shows. Then we would watch shows on, let's just say like HBO, where we didn't have commercials, for example. Or then we started out on Facebook reading people's posts. Like, remember when people used to post like really long posts? Yeah, you don't see that anymore. Or now we have to have an image in order for us to actually read the text. Or we've gotten into these quick videos, like seconds. Literally, these videos are seconds. And so we've gotten to this world and this culture of like everything's so instant. What is interesting about podcasts is, there are some podcasts that are like 10, 15 minutes, and holy moly, they had such a powerful punch. And then there's other podcasts that I'm like, oh, sweet, it's an hour and 15 minutes. That is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to dig into that. So it's kind of interesting. I think podcasting has been a little bit of a mixed bag of this stuff. And obviously it comes back to the quality and of your content. And so I think about discipline. Discipline is truly a long-term strategy. And when you really look at people who are successful, and we can define success however we want to define it, but like when you look at someone who is successful, they have discipline. They've been showing up for a hot minute. And anyone that you have seen through time has this long-term mindset. So it's about staying committed to the path, even when the journey becomes challenging, and maintaining a focus on the objectives despite short-term discomforts or setbacks. So in essence, discipline is a fundamental trait that empowers you to achieve your goals by making conscious decisions and consistently taking purposeful action. So come back to the word purpose here, because purpose is huge in this. But discipline is absolutely something. This is where I see either a woman be super, super successful in weight loss or fitness goals, or absolutely not. The women who cannot discipline themselves, and I'm not talking disciplining like having willpower. I'm not going to eat sugar for the rest of my life. No, that's like not even, it's not even a reality. You don't have to be like that. But I look at discipline as going, okay, I'm going to align myself with the actions. So it's no different if you wanted to save money, if you wanted to get out of debt. There are certain actions that you have to stay disciplined to. If you want to grow your business, there are certain marketing strategies that you can't just like deploy one thing and expect it to produce all of your results. Or let's say in work or your career, a project takes the discipline of getting all the pieces working together and then seeing it through. And some projects, think about it, they take a year, they take 6 months, but some can take 5 years, some can take 10 years to produce. Think about it. Discipline is something that I feel all of us need to embody at some level, especially when it comes to weight loss and truly feeling happy and healthy in your own skin. Is you've got to be disciplined to the process. I always tell my clients, if it's boring, you're doing it right. If you're showing up and doing the dang things, like this is what it takes. It takes sleeping decently well. It takes, drinking water, for example. It takes eating a certain way, right? Not perfect, but a certain way. And it takes moving your body. The best is when I help a woman into resistance training. And let me preface by saying progressive resistance training. And this is something that I truly think people just think, oh, Arin just comes up with these things for the hell of it and just to torture me. Ha ha ha. Now, I will have to say, I do get some Mr. Burns fingers and kind of like chuckle a little when you put something together, but there is rhyme and reason. There's physics that goes into it. There's volume that goes into it. There's properly progressing someone. And then there comes, how are you feeling? How did you respond? Is that movement appropriate? Should we swap it out? And there's so many nuances. And I love when someone's like, can you just throw me together some workouts? Hey, I'm going to be blah, 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 blah. Can you just put something together? And it's like, dude, okay, first off, we have goals that we're working towards. And so what I'm getting at is when it comes to resistance training, for example, and getting the desired look and feeling the way you want to feel, it takes discipline of showing up all day, every day. I had a client, this has been a while ago now, but she saw me working out in the gym and she said, oh my God, you are strong. And I was like, yeah, I mean, and I was like, okay, I am strong compared to what, right? Like, so you really have to keep it in context. And so for most women my size, yes, I am strong, but it didn't start out that way. I had to start out lifting very similar weights. And she was like, and she was trying to say it in a very tactful way. And I was like, dude, just say it. And she was like, well, I'm just surprised. And I was just kind of chuckling because I was like, I have been lifting for almost 2 decades of my life, like consistently. I can count literally on one hand, less than a few fingers, how many workouts I have missed in my life. And it's because it's who I am. And that's a part of what has to happen when it comes to discipline is it becomes who you are. Show up this way every single day because this is who you are. And that to me is truly the secret when it comes to discipline is you have to become the person that you desire to be. And that's how we show up every day. Okay. If you want to be a billionaire, got to become that person. What does that person do on a daily basis? How many people do they talk to? How many, marketing campaigns do they put out? How many team members do they coach and train and put in place? I mean, there's so many nuances that go to different levels of success, right? And, I'm talking predominantly about your body here, but obviously there's so many parallels. So discipline to me is one of the first places we have to start in order to getting our desired outcome and truly being happy. The second piece of this is being in gratitude. And this is one that I'm just going to be honest, like it didn't just come naturally for me. It was just like, and it wasn't that I felt like somebody owed me something. I've definitely never been in that camp, which I can't say that this is something that truly drives me bonkers about, certain generations. And I can't say it's just certain generations. There's just a certain type of person too, man. Like all you got to do is run a few Facebook ads to really get let down on what type of people are in this world. And especially when it comes to health, nutrition type of ads. And I'm just like, holy moly, some of the things that people post, I'm just like, what? So being in this space of gratitude, and it's really recognizing and appreciating the positive aspects of your life, both big and small. You have to celebrate all the wins. It's acknowledging these blessings, these experiences, people, and opportunities that truly enrich your existence. Gratitude involves mindset of being thankful and having a genuine acknowledgement of the value that these elements bring to your life. I never understood the gratitude journals, but man, once you start doing one, it's like, it just changes your whole perspective. It changes your whole outlook because it goes beyond material possessions. It truly encompasses our emotions, our relationships, experiences, and even challenges. Like we can even be in gratitude around challenges that truly contribute to your growth. It's a way of approaching life with humility and recognizing that there is goodness to be found in various aspects, even during difficult times. And that right there has truly been a huge growth opportunity for myself personally, is constantly stepping back and saying, I'm thankful for this time and space of my life. There were so many darn lessons, so many challenging lessons. And I would definitely say that I'm feeling that season right now. This has probably been one of the most challenging seasons that I have personally gone through. I've truly thought that I had gone through some of the most challenging, and it's just like, holy moly, okay. But it's truly when you desire change and you desire growth and you desire other opportunities. And for me, it's feeling like, man, why won't this just happen? Or why isn't it happening fast enough, right? And I'm sure I'm not alone in this. Like there's different seasons where, maybe you have a job change, or maybe you're going through a very difficult separation or divorce or losing your loved one. I mean, there's so many pieces that it's like, how do you see the gratitude in that? And it's very challenging in that moment, right? Like it's very challenging to see it. Typically someone on the outside can see it before you do. And I know someone who maybe would even like look at my situation personally, they would say, Arin, oh my God, like there's so many blessings unfolding, right? And so practicing gratitude involves focusing on the present moment, being here right now, being mindful of the positive elements and expressing thanks. Having gratitude can truly improve mental health. Like even just talking about it right now, like I'm feeling good, feeling a little warm. And it's just this greater sense of contentment. Gratitude is a powerful tool that can shift your perspective. It will help you foster resilience and just enhance your overall well-being by highlighting the richness and the positivity that exists in your life. Like I said at the start of just this section of gratitude, it's definitely been something that I have had to learn and I have had to grow through. And what I always think about when I think of the word gratitude, I always think about, in particular, a priest that worked out in our facility. Actually, I can think of 3 of them. We've had a ton of priests who have worked out in our training facility, and it's because of where our location is. There's the main Catholic center is right there. And so we've naturally attracted a lot of priests that have come through our program. And when I see them, they're just happy. And I started just talking with one of them and just hearing how grateful and how uplifting. And I mean, I'm a pretty positive person. And I was like, dang, you are always this way. And you think about what it takes on a daily basis to stay in that mindset, and it's truly giving thanks to God. Obviously, if you believe in a higher being or the universe, but you really think about what keeps someone in happiness, and think about a priest, right? Very disciplined to certain actions that they believe in, having gratitude. And then we'll tie in this last piece here beautifully, is having purpose. So I think about that because when I was putting these notes together for this podcast, I was thinking about just gratitude was one of the most challenging sides of this for me. And I don't know why. Like, that's very interesting. And I'd love to hear your guys' insight from this. But gratitude just didn't come naturally. But when I think about this, I instantly think of these priests when I think of the definition of happiness. And it truly does come back that, man, these guys have so much discipline. They have so much gratitude towards life. And there is absolutely a calling and a purpose. And so that's what we need to embody. Not that everybody needs to go become a priest now. I just want to use that as a parallel. But what this is going to take me into is this last piece of purpose. And I will tell you that purpose is one of the biggest pieces that holds most women back. And I'm going to touch on this, and this may absolutely rub you the wrong way, or you may say, you know what, girl, you're not far off. Okay. And so when I see a woman struggling in her weight loss, there's typically a loss of purpose, a loss of who am I? What do I stand for? What am I doing? Why on earth should I do this? And I see it over and over and over again. And this is one of the biggest opportunities for women. I can see a woman be very disciplined. Think about it. If you've raised kids, I mean, I think about just the things that I have done here in this time and space, our kids, and for majority of people, their kids have gone back to school. And I think about what going back to school fosters in our household is a very close schedule. I wouldn't say it's rigid, but there's definitely like, hey, in order for the household to be more calm, be more peaceful, which is what we prefer in our house, is there's things that have to be done in order to create that. And so I am very much, hey, the second they come in the door, okay, what happens next? And the kids are learning all over again. Okay, we go through our take-home folder, we hang our book bag, our lunch bag up, we empty out any remaining contents from lunch, and then they put their little bento boxes in the sink, and then I'll wash them up, reload them, get them in the fridge. And that just makes our morning so much easier because everything gets put away, the lunches get made again, and it's that discipline, right? It's that discipline of this is what makes our life so much easier, less stress. We're not frantically running around in the morning trying to make these. And it's truly finding out, okay, this is the discipline that it takes. And it's a clear understanding of how we want our household and what we want for our kids. And so when we think about our purpose and what is our so like in the time and space that I am in right now, so yes, there's absolutely purpose around raising good humans. And I am hell-bent on raising good humans that are going to serve and have great impact in this world. And I feel it's a disservice to do anything less than that. And so I'm giving it every inch of effort as I got. But then there's also this other piece of purpose with me. It was never enough to be just a mom. And that's not saying that women have to do this. Like so many women do such an amazing job at being a mom. And then what happens when those kids are gone? Now what? Now, for some women, they get grandkids right away, and then that becomes that next purpose. And that is fantastic, okay? But then there's also a lot I see with women is, okay, now what? Now what do I do? Their whole identity was around those kiddos, and rightfully so, 100%. I can definitely tell you that majority of my identity right now is kids, 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 and kids, 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 right? And that's a good thing. But there's also a huge piece of this movement that I know that I've been called to do to help women be who they're ultimately meant to be. And I know that they have to get it right with their bodies. And so my question for you is, what is your purpose? Should you know, what is that purpose? What is that calling? Where are you passionate? For some of you, it may be absolutely the career that you have established, that you've grown into, that you're morphing and evolving. It could be your business or a business that you haven't even started. It could be non-for-profit work. It could be a community that you want to serve, a movement you want to create, right? So there's so many, and here's the thing, we can have multiple purposes. And so what I see from my side of the fence is when I see a woman not able to completely be disciplined to the process of weight loss, for example, or not even come close to expressing gratitude, is they lack purpose. It's what on earth are we here for? Okay. And sometimes this gets rocked. So I just want to acknowledge this. Sometimes this gets rocked. Sometimes we were going on this path. This was the plan, and it gets rocked. Okay. Maybe we experience divorce. Maybe we experience loss. Those are two things that come to mind, and it just disrupts. It's like everything that you had planned, it was like, no, that I can't even comprehend this. And so what that forces you to do is it forces you to find a new purpose, a new calling. And for most of us, we don't like that, right? We don't like being forced into change. So think about if you got let go from a job, right? Normal reaction is to be very angry, very upset. Why? What did I do or didn't do, right? This isn't fair. Very, very normal response. But the flip side of that is it's the opportunity that you needed to step into that next place that you never would have considered because things were okay here. Okay. So purpose is having clear understanding of your core values, your passions, and meaningful impact that you want to make in this world. It's about having a reason for your existence that just goes beyond this day-to-day routine and task. A sense of purpose provides you with direction, motivation, just this deep sense of fulfillment. So having purpose involves aligning your actions, your decisions, and goals with your values and your passion. It's about pursuing things, endeavors that really resonate with your beliefs, and then they contribute to just a greater cause or vision. So this sense of direction gives so much meaning to life, and it helps you navigate challenges with the resilience and the determination, because it's like your north compass. It's like you always know, well, this is the direction we're going. At the end of the day, this is our mission, this is our vision. How we get there truly doesn't matter, right? So when you have this strong sense of purpose, you experience profound connection to what you do, a feeling that your efforts matter, and recognition that you're part of something larger than yourself. That was one thing that in leading a team and leading employees is I always had to be the vision caster, and I had to be the person like, hey, this is why we're doing what we're doing. There's different scenarios where like we've had to raise rates and like our staff didn't understand, well, why would you raise rates? Well, I'm like, hey, in order for you to get raises as well appropriately, like this is part of the business. And what may seem expensive to you doesn't seem expensive to a client. Because remember, you're not the one buying personal training, for example. And so it was always casting this larger vision and having this purpose. And it's bigger than you. And that was one thing that I really enjoyed, painting that picture and helping our team understand. And also, we've done some really cool things over the years. We've had a lot of charity events where we gave back to veterans' causes. And that, again, was so meaningful in leading a team, but also leading clients that, hey, we're doing this to help more people. Like the reason this company exists is because, hey, when we can produce X, we can give Y, and that feels really good. And so I really enjoy some of the things that we have done to raise money over the years. So it's not about that personal success, right? It's about making a positive impact on others and the world around you. So discovering and cultivating the sense of purpose involves introspection. It takes self-discovery, ongoing exploration of your passion and your values. It's truly a journey. Like, honest to God, it is truly a journey that evolves as you grow and as you learn, and your purpose evolves. So having purpose enriches your life. It guides your decisions and infuses each day with just this deeper sense of and fulfillment. So if you feel like, why can't I see results? And you haven't been doing the things, right? You haven't been doing X, Y, and Z, having the discipline. It's typically going to be coming back to, well, what's the point? And so those are some deep questions that you truly have to ask yourself. What is the point of all of this? Why would I? take care of myself? Why would I eat well? Why would I lose weight, right? Like, what is the purpose? And if you're placing that purpose on other people, that's not it. If you're doing this for a partner or a spouse, no way, no way. You've got to do weight loss and taking care of your health for you. Okay, you're numero uno. Have to be. You have to put the oxygen mask on first, right? We've all heard that. But the thing I know about women is we will literally die, but ensure that our kids were taken care of, right? And I know every woman listening to this would die for their own kid. I already know that. So we tend to not take care of ourselves. And then in that process, we lose ourselves and we lose who we are. We lose this identity. I know I've been there. I know that I have felt just, what's the purpose? And it was because I lacked purpose. So I know at the end of the day, women just want to feel good. We want to feel good in our own skin. We want to have confidence. We want to go after things in life. Maybe we don't think we can do it right now. And hey, girl, I just want to tell you that's okay. I have doubts all day, every day too. But I also have an armor of self-talk and care for myself that, hey, if you don't take care of you, you know how many women are going to suffer. And I wear that on my shoulders because I care so deeply about other women feeling good, having happiness. And that's why I put together this message today, because truly to feel good, truly to be happy, we have to show up every single day like our future self. Who do we desire to be? Should we know who she is? And if you don't, get to freaking work on who is she, okay? So have the discipline to show up in a way that I used to have an alter ego that I would call myself Fit Arin. This is how Fit Arin would show up, okay? Practicing gratitude. This doesn't just come naturally for all of us, myself included. I was like, oh, that's so woo-woo, whatever. Well, it's really not. Like, be in gratitude, give thanks on a daily. And then ultimately, it boils down to our purpose. And here's the cool thing. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know every little aspect of how you're going to serve, what impact you're going to have. But I want you to start getting curious about, okay, what does it look like? Why on earth are you here for? And the cool thing is it's going to evolve. As you gain more experiences, as you work through more challenges, as you realize like, oh man, I could really serve in this capacity, or hey, I'm really good at this. Man, there was a time when I went through X, Y, and Z, and I know how to tell someone not to do this, right? So think about this higher purpose. What am I here for? What can I do? How can I do this? Because that's really going to drive you. And I will challenge you all day long that if you don't have your health, all of this is going to be 10,000 times harder. When you have your health, you have more confidence, feel good in your clothes, go for more, people look at you differently. I mean, that's just the raw truth. I hate to say it, but people do judge. Okay, not right, not wrong. So ultimately, I want you to have the happiness that you deserve, okay? And you are the person that's in charge of that. Happiness is yours. Should you choose to have the discipline to do the things, have the gratitude and give thanks for the amazing things that are happening in your life, even when bombs are going off, and then ultimately knowing the purpose and the passion and letting it evolve into who you are, not beating yourself up because you don't perfectly know today, right? So I've definitely been there. So choose to have happiness. It's within your control, and you got this all day, every day. Go get 'em.